Hello, everyone. Welcome to Imagine 2021. I am Lynn, the Executive Director of Casa of Santa Cruz, and I am so happy to be here with you all today. How many of you are happy to be at an event today? Yeah. Thank you all for coming to our event, and I am absolutely thrilled to introduce you to our co-host for this part of today's event, Conny Ramirez.
Yeah, Connie! Thank you, Lynn. We are here today to honor the strength that some of our youth have shown in becoming the people they are today.
All right, guys, so that was a pretty good, you did good with these comments. But I'm thinking, I have been accused from time to time of being a bit understated. So I am going to ask Rod, for those of you who don't know him, you're in for a treat, to introduce Connie to you properly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Lynn. This is a moment. Now, many of you know this already, but the full significance of this needs to be stated. And it's never an overstatement. This is Conny Ramirez, and she is right now emceeing, hosting this whole event. And for those that know, hold your reports, because we're going to do this massively in a moment. But to give some context to this, in 2018, Connie was pictured on the video, and she spoke very briefly with her casa, because she has been in foster care for 10 years and has, from that, been so invigorated and so empowered through her own courage and through her persistence and through her resiliency, which we're all celebrating today. And with a little help from her casa, she suddenly has transformed her life. She now is a spectacular member of our community. She's a staff member of Casa itself, and she is just about to act as host and MC. And I think that speaks to everything that we are as a community, and you are all doing to transform these kids' lives. And what an epitome, what an example Conny Ramirez is. And let us give a little bit of, she's a little nervous right now. Let's give her a massive round of applause. Let's be on your feet. Be upstanding, please. Up on your feet, everybody, right up here. This is huge. Times were tough a few years ago, and now here she is. Connie, we are so proud of you. You are amazing, you are delightful, and you're a wonderful human being.
I was not expecting to cry. Thank you so much.
Connie, we are so lucky to have you as a member of our staff. Connie's been fighting for our mission for a long time, and we are truly, truly thrilled to have her as one of our staff members now. Before we go on to celebrate the resiliency of our other speakers tonight, I'd like to take a moment to recognize that today is 9/11, and I invite you all to take a moment to pause and reflect upon everything that we have lost due to that terrible day over the last 20 years, and everything that has been ripped from our lives due to this pandemic. So please take a moment just to pause to honor those losses.
We are happy to have you here with us today, if by live stream or for those who are here at Cabrillo College. We would like to recognize our celebration is being held on the traditional lands of indigenous Awaswas and Mudsun communities.
Before I hand it over to Connie, I would just like to recognize that, of course, today would not be possible if it were not for our sponsors. Quite a number of you are here. Thank you from the bottom of our heart to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our supporters, including you and those ones who are with us on the live stream. Thank you so much. And as well, thank you to all of our volunteers, our board members, our interns, and of course our beloved advocates, past and present. Without you, this work would not be possible. And with that, I literally hand it over to Connie.
Now I'd like to bring up our 4 youth speakers who have shown amazing resilience in the past few years. I would like to introduce you to Sahira, a 20-year-old UC Davis graduate, an electric apprentice. We know this past year and a half has been tough on everyone. Can you share how you have been so resilient and accomplished so much through it all?
Yeah. Can't tell if I can hear myself. Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, so this past year, I think, it's almost 2 now, has been tough for, I think, all of us. During the beginning of the pandemic, I was a UC Davis student, so up near Sacramento, studying political science, because I thought I wanted to become a lawyer. By the time that June or July rolled around, I'd applied for an electrical apprenticeship for the Santa Clara County Union, and I'd gotten in. So I think throughout all of that, and even now, kind of, post-grad, even when I'm 21, being able to look forward to what my next goal is going to be, or what I'm going to do next, I think has given me the resilience to keep going forward, mostly because it kind of blocks out all of the negative that's going on. So, being able to think, okay, in a few months, weeks, I'm going to graduate, just focus on that, or, I'll apply for this thing, or I'm going to start work, or I'm going to go to work. All this stuff has really helped me just kind of keep moving forward. It's given me, I guess, the mental strength to not wallow in my woes, I guess that's what people say, and kind of sit up home and be down. So yeah, just looking forward, or I guess creating something to look forward to as
Congratulations, that is incredible. How has CASA supported you during these times?
Well, CASA was actually, I don't know if she's here, but I want to shout out Megan at CASA. She was the first person when COVID hit that reached out to me via email and said, do you need help, do you need any support? So, nobody else, I guess, in my life reached out during this first few weeks in March and April. But ever since then, CASA and people there have been helpful. If you need anything, what can we do? So everything from scholarships, just needing assistance, any questions I've had, they've been there for me. I don't think, I know this is very cliche, I don't think I'd be where I'm at. Obviously I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for CASA, but I don't think I'd be where I'm at in my life if it wasn't for the support that CASA has been to me since I was 16, 17. So especially in these times, I guess, I don't know what I'd do without CASA. So I'm really thankful.
Thanks, Sahira, for sharing. This is Angel, a 19-year-old with a very interesting hobby. Angel, I hear you have accomplished a lot recently. Can you share what you are most proud of?
Yeah, so, I hope everyone hears me. I graduated from high school during the last summer, and it was interesting, I'll be honest. I was like, okay, well, I'm getting stressed out. What do I do? How can I fill my time? How can I help myself? And I was thinking, I'm looking at the trees outside. I'm like, I'm gonna do bonsai. So I start bonsai. Yeah, so I started doing that as a little side hobby to just fill my time up, just, help me out, and it helped out a lot. I'd honestly, if it weren't for me starting that hobby, would have graduated, maybe, but I would have still. But yeah, definitely that helped me out a lot. And I think I have 10 trees now. I started this year, so yeah. So yeah, I've kind of been proud of doing that, just working on my trees in the afternoon, taking care of them, watering them, making sure I have everything up and tidy. And then just this past month, I started Cabrillo, so now I'm doing that. And from there, I'm hoping to take my education to hopefully open up my own bonsai nursery one day in the future.
Yes. Can you let us know how long you have been with your casa and how he has supported you?
So, my lovely coffee right there. My lovely casa, he's been with me since I first went into foster care, and that was 10 years ago, about. So we've been together that 10 years. He's been great. He's been a great friend. This is a story I always tell, but I moved to Modesto very briefly for a year, and it was interesting. I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna see Doug, I guess, and I was bummed out. And Doug told me, like, no, I'm gonna try to go once a month. And he kept his end of the deal. Once a month, he came up to Modesto, we met up, did whatever we could do to fill our time, and that was that. I did come back to Watsonville, obviously, but yeah, and then from then, we just did every Wednesday up until when the pandemic hit. But yeah, Doug has always been a best friend, I call him. Yeah, I'll talk to my friends, and I was like, oh, I have this friend, Doug. I've known him for 10 years, and he's a really good friend of mine. That's why I've always been his best friend.
10 years together, that is amazing. Thank you, Angel. These are some amazing stories. And now we are going to hear from Raquel, who spoke at Imagine 2 years ago. Can you update us all on what you have been up to since you last spoke at Imagine?
I would like to start by saying thank you to everyone that attended today. Since I last spoke at Imagine 2019, a lot has changed. And within that time, I was able to intern for our district assembly member, Mark Stone. And I would like to thank CASA and Imagine 2019, because without speaking at that event, I would have never made that connection. So I would like to say thank you. While interning for Assemblymember Stone, I was able to gain a much better understanding of state and local politics, as well as the wants and needs of our local constituents. I also continued working through a pandemic. Unfortunately, I did have to take a break from school due to the online transition just being very difficult for me, as it was for many of us. When I last spoke at Imagine 2019, I spoke of admiration to major in political science and enter that field. Since then, I have decided to take another path, and I would like to focus my efforts on joining the world of social work, where I can hope to where I can hopefully bring hope and the opportunity for resilience the way that CASA has always allowed me to. And I also have taken the first step towards my career, and I began working for a preschool in March of this year, which I fell in love with. And I started off as a TA, and as of July, I recently got moved up to being a teacher. So I am currently at Cabrillo finishing up my classes to be a fully certified preschool teacher.
That is amazing what you went through, and you still became a teacher at such a young age. What has your CASA meant to you over the years?
I will never be able to formulate the right words for that. I really will not. but if I can choose one word, if I can choose two words, it is consistency and compassion. I have had my casa and Neiman in my life since I was 9 years old, and I am now 22. And when Anne came into my life, I did not have a lot of people staying around. There was so many ins and outs, and throughout all the years and all the craziness that we've all experienced, she has always been there for every life event. She has been there for every award ceremony, every graduation, every birthday. And I can never truly thank you so much. Thank you. It means the world to me that she is here. I would also like to say that for CASA as a whole, often when people hear foster youth, they often don't hear resilience as an option. But having CASA in my life has always left me an opportunity for resilience. Anytime I have ever needed help in any way, shape, or form, it has been given to me. And I truly thank you, every one of you, for that.
Thank you, Raquel, for sharing that. And last but certainly not least, Sophia. We thank you for being here. We realize this is your first time speaking at a CASA event. And we celebrate you for showing up and telling your story.
Yeah, Sophia, yes.
How have you observed resilience in yourself and would like to celebrate?
Well, over these past 2 years, I've seen resilience in myself by sticking to my degree and my goals to become an anesthesiologist. I've taken a semester off to become an EMT, and yeah, I'm just staying at work and staying at school. I think is probably the most two ways I've stayed really resilient in these past 2 years.
Why did you choose to go into EMT?
I wanted to go into EMT to get some experience before becoming an anesthesiologist, and I'd really like to see how just the healthcare system around here works and just get more military experience.
That's amazing. Would you like to share how your CASA has helped you?
Okay, so my CASA Jail has helped me in so many ways, whether it's from something as small as getting a bike for transportation or just being a role model.
Thank you so much for sharing. We would really like to thank all of our speakers for their time and of course their resilience. Can you all come to go together for a group photo?
Are we posing?
We would like
Yes,
to
you can.
congratulate you on your resiliency. And thank you for very kind words, honestly. You're not the only one who's got So, we have these awards for you, and on the back, to honor your resiliency, but also to invest in your future and your resiliency, there is a check for $1,000 for each one of you. I will get it to you. There we go. Connie's going to help me out. Again, amazing guys work through a very, very tough time. And with that, I believe, before we pass it off to Rod, who is so much more entertaining than me, I have one more thing to ask of you guys. It is completely 100% free. Please, our children, when they were children, their lives were dictated by laws that are made by our state government. Please vote. If you have not voted in our recall election, please. It's
Yes.
free. Do it. Our children. And with that, I pass it to Rod.
Absolutely.
Can we say thank you one more time for our guest speakers?